Top right for StarTale, Zerg player number 2 today. It is
StarTale, Curious.
Curious, experienced player, good ZVZ player in the mirror matchup with a 51% win ratio with roughly 30 maps played. Is up against someone who has never won a single map in a Zerg vs Zerg offline in Heart of the Swamp. Starting to the bottom left, we have for Soul,
Sanai.
He lost to Lenok and he lost to Nesty. Both of them. The only 2 maps that he played. Both of them in the GSTL. Against Nesty in Season 1. Against Lenok in Season 2 just recently, just a week ago. Oh. So, yeah, let's see what Sanai can do this time. Lenok crushed him. Lenok destroyed Sanai. Up to a point where it was like, dude, don't overdo it, the poor kid.
Yeah, that was
Ham Day, right?
Was it Ham Day?
It was a proxy hatch game, if I'm not mistaken, where Lenok started to play his proxy hatches against him.
Yeah, I think that may have been it.
I'm not quite sure if it was Ham Day, but I'm pretty sure. Like, I think it was. And Lenok played the proxy hatches, and I felt really bad for Sanai. I remember that just because he's like already in a position where he doesn't win a lot of games and has a problem with his confidence, and then you have someone like going up against him.
This is actually an interesting stat, by the way. Curious has actually won the most points out of anybody on StarTale, just slightly above Bomber. But if you look at the list of players on StarTale, you wouldn't think necessarily that would be the case, but it actually just goes to show that Curious is like such a good, solid member for them for Team League. He's won 20% of their games. Soul, on the other hand, Trap gets about half at 41.7, and then you've got Hiva and Deer tied at 2nd with Youngju pulling a 4th. They kind of use these 4 players almost every time, so no real shock there. But, well, the 2 builds that we see here in this game is just a much faster hatchery tech coming out for Curious. Wait, no, actually, I got the names mixed up again for Sanai.
Like, I absolutely love our overlay. I feel like our overlay from all the overlays that currently exist in professional StarCraft is by far the best one. The only thing that personally confuses me every now and then is that we have at the edges of the scoreboard itself the blue line.
Yeah, the blue line, that gets me too. That's exactly the reason why I had this.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're only in the middle where you have like the name of the players or the races of the players. That's where we have the red versus blue. That's the only thing that always gets me. But I only look at the edge or at one end of the screen and I think, okay, he's the blue player, and in reality he's actually the red.
By the way, did you know when we started talking about the overlay, it went away for a second? They must have gotten shy. Oh yeah, it is a really good overlay. I like also the in-game UI that we have that shows the income underneath.
No, that's what I mean basically. Yeah. I include like both with that.
Yeah, okay. So we also have a lot of cool information about like idle workers and things like that. But,
the idle workers. They're very similar to the idle workers, but yeah, they want to be a little bit special, so they put the extra D in there.
Yeah, that's how they feel. There's some words in English that were like that, like theater center and things like that. They didn't want to feel special, but well, these 2 Lings actually try to get in here, but actually with good micro bike Curious, he should be able to deny the scout. Nope, he gets in.
Yeah, with the 2 creams are a little bit too far off. But yeah, now he knows about the gas. That's what he wanted to know, how much gas there's actually already been taken. And both of them like playing it a little bit like safer at the beginning. We do not see a massive commitment to anything just now. Like most often, or like in the recent past, we had like Zerg players going into early pools quite often, trying to end the games fast, or even trying to hit them just with the 2-base timing. And that's something where we could still see, especially Hydra has a style where he not only moves out with the roach timing, but at the same time also takes his 3rd base. So it's like a 2-step process that he has there, and a very interesting style to play.
Yeah.
But the attack here, very, very fast for Curious.
Yeah, really quick.
Check for a 3rd base by him as well.
Do you think he's just going to go Mutas? I think that's what we're going to see here. Well, he adds the Evolution Chambers now. You'll still want the Evo Chambers, of course, anyways, but...
Well, I would actually... What interests me more is if we're going to see one of these roach timings that I just described, the ones that Hydra is using. I feel they're becoming a lot more popular. And we have already both of those players like skipping on the gas. The double upgrades here for Sanai are a little bit faster than they are for Curious, but Curious is the one who heads into the faster layer tech that will give him not only the roach speed, but he can also then work with that bit of delayed roach burn that we currently have for Sanai. Not necessarily late, you could just say that Curious decides to get his a lot faster than Sanaya does, but we could see one of those roach timings here.
Yeah. Would not be surprised. Here comes the drone to take the third. I think he's looking at it, but
yeah, the thing to really point out again is that Sanae does not get his lair tech.
yeah, he doesn't have it at all. So I mean, there's very few reasons for that. He doesn't have a third base either, or even a drone going out to make one. So I think it's just going to be a timing.
Well,
he starts 9 roaches and 2 overloads.
You see like how he uses his gas? Instead of like going into lair, he got the speed for the Zergling. So that's more the follow-up step for the first initial attack that he wants to go for. And with the double upgrades for him a little bit faster, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the 1-1 timing here. It depends on how fast he hits. If he hits it right away, then Curious will be down an upgrade.
Curious is going to see no lair. Oh, he needs to check. Oh, if he doesn't see no lair, he won't know. Oh, I cannot believe this is happening! The Zergling is attacking the roaches, and the roaches ignored him. Okay, well, he doesn't see.
Roaches turned around, but he saw the roaches. He saw the number of roaches moving out, and that should give him a bit of an inkling. Here comes the lair tech, very much delayed.
And now when he sees the queens, he's going to know 100% like exactly what type of push he's up against here.
Keep in mind that we have the speed for the roaches much faster for Curious. It will give him a little bit of an edge with the unit control when he's maneuvering in the fight. But the army supply is actually not really that far ahead for Sanae. He tries to go into lair tech right now, but Curious is kind of ready for this.
Yeah, I think as long as he micros correctly and has that good split, which should be easier for him since he has the speed for the roaches. The upgrades, on the other hand, there's going to be like a hair, like a really tiny
thing. He's never going to hit that. He's never going to hit that in time, I feel.
I mean, I don't think so either. Well,
it's close though. Nah. Here we go, 1-1.
It's already finished for Curious now.
Alright, same upgrade for both of them. Means that he's able to shoot their Zerglings. Moving in once again. The concave is a little bit better for Curious. The queens are there too for both players. 4 for Sanae. Transfusing already. Curious is sending the rest of his troops, and he's the one with a more army supply at this point.
Yeah, he's got more army supply, and he's rallying in so quickly with that roach speed. And he's actually starting to whittle this away already. He's got the more hit points on the roaches, as you can see now, as highlighted by our observer. And I think he's already basically done it. He's going to push this back. With the next wave of roaches he has, he will be fine. He can start the third base again once he pushes it back. And that's something that Sanae already has done. He does start the third base. He has +2 on the way. He does transition to roach speed. He has that lair now. But he lost so much momentum here.
Yeah. The roach speed there makes it impossible for Sanae to run away with any of his units. He has to take the fight. He has no other choice. Roach speed allows it Curious to chase down whatever his opponent has. A couple of Zerglings trying to go for a counter-aggression, maybe take out the third base, but they are already pursued, and Curious doesn't even care too much about it. He's like,
he's just going to cancel here and
I
say,
have to
whatever.
cancel, and it's going to be fine, but I can go for the counter-attack, and you don't have enough.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough. He's going to lose his Roach Warren before speed is done. Well, if he targets it, he can actually just try to end the game first, which is also a viable option here at this point.
He kind of comes to production at the natural itself, therefore, and goes in. It's 25 roaches against 12 at this point.
He saved the third base.
No, he rebuilt it.
Yeah, that's what I mean to say. He saved it against the second wave of Lings after he rebuilt it, or at least the Lings left, so he's got a third hat-trick coming up.
Yeah, he is doing a lot of damage here, but doesn't really do enough. He's far ahead in the Harvest account, 47 against 30, trying to run away at this point. His attack did not really do... Like, it didn't kill Sanae just yet, but Sanae is just building roaches, and what he really needs are workers here.
Exactly, he needs a lot more.
He's on 3 bases already, so it's nice that he has 3 bases, but he can't use them.
And Curious already starts the armor upgrade, the Carapace upgrade, so the next time they engage, if the game goes that long, they will actually be, the roaches of Sanae will be far behind in upgrades. So 50 to 30 harvesters right now, soon to be 3 fully saturated bases, or approximately. And
Sanae is going for the aggression.
If he actually could get this hatchery, maybe he could turn things around, but there's no way Curious is going to let him do that. All he has to do is get at the top of the ramp and say no.
Sanae is using his third base just for production, and he's starting to transition into harvesters.
He's even trying to use the overlords to spread the creep to make his attack a little bit faster.
But he's so far behind in the harvest account already, and like he's trying to go for this attack. The queens are moving in again. 10 more roaches are being built. That extra income that we have, I mean, he's nearly doubling at times his opponent's income, especially in the minerals. He's doubling the gas income as it is. So right now, it's tricky. Why is he doubling the gas income?
Because he didn't rebuild the extractors actually at the natural.
Yeah, but still, he also didn't put in drones into the other extractor. That's why he's doubling it. It's 2 gas against 4.
Yeah, so this is... Yeah, he didn't put any harvesters in there. I'm looking at it now.
Yep.
It's just he's nervous, you know? This happens. He absolutely would love to have that. I mean, if you look at his income now, you see he actually has a surplus in gas, but...
It's one of the reasons why he actually never start the other attack, the other +2 upgrades.
Yeah, he never had enough, so...
45 against 29 roaches, and here comes Curious going in. The armor upgrade for him is not done just yet. But as soon as Will, it's going to be over, I feel, at
Even
this
if he
point
just,
already.
If he just trades it evenly, then he has the income to stay in the second wave. And he's not even trading evenly. He's getting a slightly better edge here on this fight. He has the better concave. His units are just engaging in a ball. And he's got so many units in production. You can see his Carapace is almost done.
3 base mining with a much more harvesters, 57 against 43. The follow-up to this is going to be brutal.
He's just killing these units as they spawn, you know?
Plus the armor upgrade is going to be done in a few, and he's even transitioning into Hydralisks now. This game is over. Even the drones coming off the mineral line, trying to avoid the unavoidable.
GG, indeed, trying to avoid the unavoidable. So StarTale does pull back into the lead, and now, you know, it's that final PvP. We talked about a lot of hypothetical situations. You know, what is going to happen if, you know, when Deer wins that, almost as if it was already decided. But Avenge actually, if he plays a good game here, could actually end the series now. And Sanai played a good game, actually. This is one of his more... It flowed better. It didn't look like, you know, he was really super nervous. He made a few mistakes, obviously not putting his drones in the gas, for example,
like,
there at the end.
The problem is, like, you know, for me, Sanai right now is in the category of players. You look at the game and say, like, okay, it's better than expected. And that's not very flattering if you end up in that category. So for him, it's very unfortunate that he always seems to hit opponents that are very difficult for him to deal with. But he needs to get a big win out there if he really wants to make people like a little bit more aware of himself. I feel that when he was in Sosa, he had a much bigger role than now that he is on Seoul, and he has to put his name out there because in this format he gets a chance to play.
Yeah, and he gets a chance to beat a good player if he does win it.
And he does, because as soon as we are back to the elimination format, I don't think that the coach is going to put him out too much if he doesn't at least take a couple of wins here.
Yeah, so... For him, I mean, he got the experience, and he did have some good plays in that game, for sure. But, I mean, he hit that, like, I guess that timing should just be called the CJ Entis timing, because every CJ Entis does it. But he tried to hit that timing, and it didn't really work out the way he planned it. So, Curious just had really good macro games, great injects. I mean, he's always having enough roaches to defend.
I mean, so far the team match basically went down exactly as people expected when they saw the lineups. Every player that was supposed to be the favorite won his game. And we are now in a position where we are down to the 6th set, and that means that we have a Protoss versus Protoss with Avenge going up against Trap, against Dia. And I feel that Dia, from all the games, has the best chance of actually taking... Avenge has the best chance of taking a map of Dia.
Yeah, he has the biggest chance of an upset out of all the upsets we could have potentially had today.
The PvP that we saw from Avenge in the Challenger League against SOS was so close. It was so close, like Avenge could have won that. So with a good build prepared, I feel Avenge has a decent shot to take a single map.
Definitely so. And, I mean, if Avenge takes it, then it's all over. So, you know, right now, Deer has got to... he just won a championship. So I don't think he's going to be nervous here. But he's got to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. And he might even, because of the situation we're in right now, he might even play... a safe build just because, like a super safe build just because he's up against Avenge, and Avenge can use that against him and try to play a greedy build. If we have a situation like in the previous PvP we watched, where one player goes for, you know, an expansion early, if Avenge plays like that, I think that might be good for him. Worst case scenario, Avenge loses and they send a life out. So, might want to take a...
Most likely they send a life out. The coach surprised us in the past, so we don't know yet, but it would make a lot of sense.
That's true. Actually, you know... I think today, actually, everything has gone like exactly as expected.
Yeah.
So much so that I feel like I already know how this is going to end. Like it's like I'm looking at a piece of paper that tells me like what's going to happen next.
Yeah, we came back from the future. We already know the score, guys. We're just not going to blabber.
Well, this is not telling you guys. We're trying to keep it a secret, but like it's really hard.
I think we're jumping into a short break before we go into the next game, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, we are.
So 5-minute break, guys, and when we come back, we will have the potential last 2 games, or the last game of the day. So see you guys in the view at the GSTL Seoul vs StarTale.